right, welcome back. We're having a vigorous debate about this school board sales tax, how it's going to be used, why is it now, what kind of decisions has the school board made in the past to make you have trust that this school board will do any better than it's done already. Jane Doe, go ahead. You are on the Ross Report. I understand, Jane, you're a Comeaux student. Hello, Jane. Are you there? I'm not hearing
My name.
Oh, okay. There you are. Hey, Jane. Go ahead. Go ahead. You're on the Ross Report.
I'd like to speak about the things we're missing in schools. You know, at Northside, they have automatic toilets. Doesn't that sound amazing? But right before we got out of spring break, the Thursday we got out, none of the toilets worked for any of the teachers' bathrooms, which there are only 4, and none of the students' toilets in the whole main building were flushing.
And this is at Comeaux, Jane? This is at Comeaux?
At Comeaux.
Uh-huh.
And right before Christmas, it's disgusting as it sounds, and it smelled even worse. But we had to walk through the liquids running out of the sewage because Comeaux does not have proper toiletry systems.
Oh, my gosh.
So a lot of students have resorted to using the teachers' bathrooms when they're not looking, and even those don't work all the time or always have toilet paper or always have soap for you to wash your hands because it's all disgusting.
So,
also, we have permanent subs that are staying 6 and 7 months at Comeaux, even though there are 12, 15 people applying for jobs, and the principals just don't want to make a decision of their own. There are also ACs going out in classrooms. The whole main building had an AC problem the week before spring break, which is right now. So 2 weeks ago, all the ACs went out, and I had to sit in my English class as 32 people filled the room with a horrible stench since we just came outside sweating during our lunch because we can't fit anyone in a cafeteria. Only about 100 people can fit, and we have 2,000 people at Comeaux. It doesn't make much sense at all.
Jane, have the school board members been alerted to this?
Oh, they have, and they fix what they feel like fixing. Comeaux's had a problem with their sewage since my brother started his freshman year, and much longer before that. Every so often, the toilets break almost every 2 months, and we can't do anything about it. So you get to smell everybody's output.
Jane. You know, you see, that story, that's the kind of thing I'm talking about. Bad decisions, and now they want more money to build it. Well, of course, they're building a new high school with the bonding capacity they have already. Why did they decide to do that and not fix what we have already, which is serious problems that you're talking about at Comeaux?
Well, before they build a high school or add notebook, like those fancy things for students to have, they should have replaced our textbook. I'm taking the 8th honors U.S. history class. We haven't gotten new books in over 5 years. They don't even have anything about Obama in the book. Not that I want him in the book. It's been 8 years that he was our president, and we don't have him in our books. We don't get new textbooks. My biology books that I study very hard in, they are over 8 years old also. So they're out of date, and we're looking at graffiti in the books from past students.
Oh.
We also don't have the means to fund a new school. All they really had to do was rezone and rethink their programs and the way they're spending their money. Because honestly, I don't think at the end of the school year last year, they should have sent a flyer out to every single student in Lafayette Parish about the shade of khaki we're allowed to wear this year, giving us a false sense of security because that's what they were trying to call our new uniform.
Jane, I want you for school board president. Why? You need to, girl, you got it. That is just amazing. You're speaking from the standpoint of somebody who knows what's going on. The school board members have obviously been made aware of this. What did they decide to do? Build a new high school and let this one go to rot? I'm sorry. You know, that's another bad decision.
And they don't do anything. I'm a part of the NJROTC program, and the school board had a banquet for all of their sponsors. So apparently they are getting money in, and they decided to show the cute little monkeys they have in their program that they fed everyone else but us. We missed our lunch just so they can show their sponsors our little tricks and our little song and let us be dismissed. It's not a very fair system, and I think that we should really rethink our members.
How do you think we make that change, though, Jane? How do you think who's going to be able to make that change?
Only the students, but they're so stuck up electronics that they don't know what they're doing.
Yeah.
They're stuck up their own issues, even though there's problems of the greater.
Well, sweetie, I am so glad. Oh, gosh, you have given us an earful. I am so glad you called in. School board members, are you listening? I think they probably are because we promoted this show for about a week that we were going to do this show.
Tell them that I'll tell them hi soon because I have talked to them many times before, but it seems to fall on deaf ears.
And then, I saw that meeting where some of the kids from Lafayette High went to beg for their performing arts and some of their, academies to stay with.
That was only a trick.
Uh-huh.
They already made the decision much before. They were just wasting their time, and they were just going on payroll.
And the kids, it just fell on deaf ears, didn't it? Unbelievable.
Well, they already made their decision before they walked into the room, just like the uniform situation, which made it pointless for me to stay after I did the presentation of colors in my unit and wasted an hour as I could be at wrestling practice.
Oh, my God. Jane, you sound like an awesome person. You call into this show anytime you want to share anything with me. That was just amazing. Thank you so much, sweetie. Hang in there. Take care. You too, sweetheart. Oh, man. That'd break your heart.
Ever want to leave?
Well, I don't know about the X's and O's, but we're dotting the I's and crossing the T's and trying to get the information to you about this tax. And we've had some really great calls all day. One of my favorites was Jane Doe, D-E-A-U-X, who called in. But Jane apparently has a brother, John Doe, and John's on the line with us, also a Comeaux High student. John, go ahead. You're on the Ross Report. Welcome.
Hey, Ms. Ross, how you doing?
Oh, great. Thanks, John. Go ahead. You have a comment. John, hey.
Two things.
Yeah.
And one of them was like the buses. The bus situation is just ridiculous. I drive myself now, and I would drive my sister if I didn't have to work in the morning. But my bus driver had a completely packed bus. Sometimes in the afternoon, we would have to stand in the middle on our way back home. And they just recently split his bus route. And even then, both buses are still almost packed. And they used to have the bus drivers owning their own buses and the state would pay them or whatever. Mm-hmm. But now the state decided that it would be a good idea for them to run everything. So they don't pay enough. And now there's not as many bus drivers. And
the school board owns most of the buses now. I'm not sure how that works.
They own all of them, apparently.
Huh.
But, so they aren't private anymore.
Uh-huh.
So that's one issue. Another is the lunches. It's god awful because, and that's apparently to blame on Miss Michelle Obama, but that's another tangent for another day. But
okay, yeah, save that for another day.
Yeah, but
maybe they'll get back to normal after she's out.
Yeah, hopefully. Because good Lord, I am thankful to God that I get my Chick-fil-A breakfast every morning.
So you're saying there are problems that could be solved, but this necessarily isn't going to do it because Comeaux has some other issues, according to Jane Doe, who called in and said the plumbing situation, the sewage is terrible.
Yes, and the principal is awful. She stays holed up in her office pretty much all day and doesn't really do anything. Teachers try to reach her to no avail. They have to set up appointments with her, like they're visiting the doctor, and then they need a golf cart to ride around campus in.
Good Lord.
Yet they're preaching to us about health.
Well, John, there are obviously a lot of problems at the schools. Do you think that just passing a tax is going to solve some of those problems?
Oh, no. They need to spend their money wisely. They have plenty enough. They just need to stop buying their own little phones and stop buying all this fancy crap, stop making all these new schools, and fix what we already have.
Thank you so much, John. Hey, I can't add anything to that. John, thank you so much. Call in anytime. No
problem.
Out of the mouths of babes, the truth comes out. Thank you, John. Okay, have a great day, my friend.
You too.